Hey everyone, so now that we've got the front carbon door cards from Rallytech fitted to the Evo, it's time to fit the rear ones. So much like the front door card video that I did, depending on when you're watching this one, the rear door cards are exactly the same kind of solution. So what I did with the front door cards was I used the original screw holes because they are molded into the door cards for the front and rear screws. It has the original kind of door pull bracket that holds it in place with a screw, and I also fitted the rear door handle inserts in because I don't have electric windows and I don't have window winders or anything, so I didn't want the big plastic switch panel. So that's what I did on the fronts, and then for the bottoms on the fronts I used some nylon spacers and filed down some of the original clips and used those to essentially hold the door card to the door, and worked really well. So like I say, same approach on the rear door cards. So this is the one I've done here, just like I did on the fronts. I've done one so I know what I'm doing. We've got our 4 little nylon spacers. These are 10mm nylon spacers. They are drying, they've been epoxied. We've got 1 screw hole on the rear, and if you can see it there, there's 1 screw hole on the front, and that seems to be the best solution. No door handles needed because the rear doors don't need to function essentially because I've got a roll cage in there, so they're not going to be used. They just need to kind of stay in place and be secure. So on the car, the thing that's different from the fronts is that I've had to make up some brackets here. So this is just a little piece of aluminium, and I've used the standard kind of square plug, screw plugs that are from the rear here on the handles. So I'm reusing all the OEM stuff, and then we've got another one almost identical bracket there, and then yeah, these are our 4 5mm nylon spacers there. So that is the driver's side, forgetting which side the car I'm on. We can now start applying that same solution to the passenger side, and then when everything's dried and set, get it all on the car just like the front. So first thing we need to do is we need to adjust the wiring and put it inside the door rather than outside the door, and then we can start getting the brackets fitted up and then working out just where we need to make our holes on the back of the door cards. Okay, so now we have fitted the wiring onto the inside of the door rather than the outside of the door so it doesn't foul on the door card. I forgot we need to add some nutserts, some M6 nutserts into these holes here that are going to be the base for our brackets, because you can't really get to them with nuts or bolts from behind. So I've got my little tool here, which is crap, I'll be honest. I used to have a really good one that had a handle on it and you could twist it, and it was great, but these have a habit of snapping, obviously, because you put them under a lot of pressure when you're tightening the nutserts and pulling the nutserts. So I have this now, unfortunately. So yeah, let's get our nutserts on, and then we can start making our brackets up and kind of working out that fitment. And that should be kind of it. That's the most difficult thing to do on these rear door cards, actually. So yeah, nutserts. Okay, so that is the nutserts done now on the door, and I've made up the brackets already based on the other side. It's just a lot of trial and error, just monkeying around with working out what works. So this is the rear bracket that's going to sit at an angle like that, and then this is the front bracket that's going to sit kind of fairly straight on like that. So this is going to have 4 washers behind it, and this is going to have 6 washers behind it to space it out. And I've already made the holes in the door card front and rear based on the other door card, so I didn't think there was any point filming that. But these are just these square pegs that we use to hold the kind of door mounting bracket in place. So yeah, just get these on the car now, and then we can start with the spacers. Maybe I need to trim on the door rubber. As you can see, it's kind of fouling here where I've been testing the door cards already on the screw. I had to do the same thing on the other side, and maybe I have to trim a little bit from here, but I will do that off camera. So let's get these on and see how the door card looks. Okay, there we go. That's the door card on, and you can see, hopefully, screw all okay there, and screw okay on this side here. Again, it's very dark. I have trimmed the rubber already, so I've done the same as it is on the driver's side, so it's like a fingertip thickness of space there for the screw, and I have cut out the little, again, fingertip recess there for the screw. So that now, when we close the door, it all shuts perfectly. So now that we're kind of done with all that, we can get the door card off and we can start, just like we did with the fronts, we can start gluing into place the spacers. So it's going to be 5mm on the 4 bottom holes on the door, and then it's going to be 10mm, I think, on the back of the door cards. So let's get that.
Many hours later.
Okay, so a few days have passed now, and the epoxy is all set, looking good on there, looking fine on the back of the door cards, same both sides. Yeah, this is this door obviously. I've put the press clips into place now on this door and kind of spaced them as they need to be, because sorry that I'm wearing a hood, it is 12 degrees in here, even with the heater on. It is freezing, it's -15 outside. So yeah, not the best weather for gluing stuff and doing things with your fingers. But anyway, the rear door cards with the pressed clips, they don't sit fully flush as I was hoping that they would. So they're kind of a little bit uneven. So I've had to use a different clip on the inside, which is that one there. That's a longer clip. And then the other clips I've had to space out a little bit, kind of pull them away from where they'd be sat, just so when I glue the door cards in place and put the tape on, hopefully the glue will get a good kind of bond with the clips, and then, you know, then we're all right basically. So now that we've done that, I will do the driver's side. I won't bother videoing doing the passenger side. I'll do the driver's side, get it glued and get it taped up and on, and then it will be coming back a few days later to hopefully take the tape off and just check that everything is okay.
Years later.
Okay, so several days have passed now since I fit the door cards up and I taped them into place. I've taken the tape off and I've checked them. So just like the front, you're gonna have to trust me that everything is good. But let us see how they look, shall we? And there you go. So the fitment on the rear is pretty good. I'm not gonna bother with like slow-mo music clips at the end because it's just too dark, but you can see the fitment is pretty decent. It's not as good as the fronts, like I say, but and I had to trim these down a little bit, but you can kind of see that they do look pretty good, and the door shuts, which is important. The driver side doesn't fit quite as well as the passenger side. So again, like fitment, it's pretty good along the top and along the front and down the back. Sorry if you can't see this very well. I don't know why this DJI Osmo camera doesn't seem to like darkness, but again, this door shuts all fine. So yeah, there we go. That is the door cards on the rear done. So with that done, I'm kicking things on the floor. The next thing I'm going to be working on is the rear seat delete, which is the biggie. So that'll come in the next video, depending on when you watch this video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Any questions, give me a shout. I didn't weigh the door cards like an idiot. I'm going to ask Rallytech if they know the weight, because I don't want to kind of disturb them now. I've got them on the car and I'm happy with them. But anyway, these things happen sometimes. So yeah, thank you for watching, and until the next video.